That should solve that problem. Okay, all right, I think we've done it. 3 different computers, and we're live to Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. What a mess. Thank you so much for being so patient with me. I appreciate you guys all so much. Okay, so let's just start with a poll. I'm going to ask you guys a question. Okay, and my first question is going to be, we'll say, have you sold with Just Between Friends before? So that we know how you guys are doing tonight. So have you sold with JBF Oakland County before? And you can say yes, or you can say no. And then you can say also, no, but I've sold at other JBF sales. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and see if you guys can answer that poll. Stephen, can you see if that poll is up for me? Because I want to know how much support you guys are going to need, who's watching tonight, so that we can make this a really salient video for those of you who have come in live. I think that is important. Okay, so if you're new here, so how does it work to sell with Just Between Friends? So we are a group of like-minded families, moms and dads, families, grandpas and grandmas, who have outgrown kid gear, and we like to gather up that kid gear and sell it to other families in our community. When we do that, we are able to earn a little bit of extra spending money for what we need now. Maybe we save our money, maybe we take the money we earn at JBF and we use it to buy the next season of clothes for our kids, or gear for our kids. And we sell our gear at 50 to 90% off retail prices. So by taking the items that we have hanging around our houses, we're able to clear out our clutter, make a little bit of extra cash for what our family needs now, and we're able to redistribute those resources into our community to other local families that are looking to save money as well. Plus, JBF is green, which is super exciting because I have this whole spiel that I can get off on, a crazy tangent I can get off on about how frustrating it is that it's like expensive to be green these days, right? And so JBF is a affordable way for you to do something sustainable and be proud of yourself by not only earning extra for your family, supporting your local community, but then also doing something sustainable. So that's what Just Between Friends Oakland County is. How do we do that? We're basically a department store style mom-to-mom sale. Instead of having a table at one of our sales, at Just Between Friends, you price and prepare all your items using our system before the sale. Then you bring your items to the sale and drop them off in our department style store format. And we bring in shoppers over 4 days to the sale to shop your goods. And at the end of the sale, if there's anything left over, you can choose if you'd like to donate those items or if you would like those items back. Okay, so that's how JBF Oakland County works. We're a department store style mom-to-mom sale. We pay 60 to 70% for your sold items. You choose on a per item basis how much you're going to charge for your item. And then you go ahead and price that item, choose whether or not it's going to be donated. And if the item sells, you earn 60 to 70% of that sale price. We provide pricing support along the way. And generally speaking, like a very general rule is that we suggest you price items at about a third of retail. Okay, that's what we do. That's how things work. It's a great way for your family to clear out the outgrown stuff. And then particularly if you're in a stage of life where you're starting to have some outgrown items, but you also are starting to need the next size up of stuff, then it's a great way for you to earn some extra money so that you can really affordably source high quality items for the next age. right? That's what we do. That's what Just Between Friends Oakland County is. So if that is interesting to you and you're like, yeah, I do want to know more, then stay in this party and we will help you out. Okay. So how does your sale prep look? What do you need to do to prepare for this sale? And we have a system. The system that we use, we kind of loosely call it gather and sort, price and prep, and then drop off and watch your paycheck grow. Okay. Sorry, I'm I'm having trouble because I've mirrored my screen so that I'm the right direction for you guys, but now I'm backwards to myself. So I apologize if I look a little weird with my fingers here. It's because I'm confusing myself. So again, you gather and sort your items. Okay. Then you price and prep your items. And then you drop off your items and watch your paycheck grow. Okay, those are the 3 steps to sell with JBF. So what does it look like to gather and sort? What we say is you go around your house and maybe go room by room or start with like a specific item number or a category of item. For example, books, right? Books is a good one to start with because it's a nice, easy entry into selling with JBF. You gather your books, you sort through them to figure out what you can sell, what you need to donate or hand me down to someone else, and what's probably ready to be tossed out. Okay. The items that you can sell at JBF are items of good quality. So we deal in secondhand goods or resale goods, and we do really pride ourselves on having high quality items at JBF. So what that means is that we request that the items you sell with us follow what we call the 4 C's. The 4 C's are clean, current, complete, and compliant. Okay. So basically, for a book, what clean, current, complete, and compliant would look like would be that the book is in good condition, that there aren't tears in the pages, no pages ripped out, no marker scribbled through the pages. And no sticky spots, no pages sticking together or anything. It's a good book. It might have slight wear and tear. It could have a nameplate or a name written in the front page of the book, but the book is in good condition. And if another family bought that book, it wouldn't be like they were buying, like a hand-me-down, but they were buying something of really high quality. Okay, so that would follow clean, current, complete, and compliant. So it's clean, it's got all of its pages. Also current, which means that at JBF, we don't really deal in vintage goods. We recommend that the items that you sell with us be no less than 10 years old, because the items that we're selling are items that are going to be taken by other local families and used immediately for their children. So as much fun as antique sales are and as much fun as vintage goods are, JBF is probably not the right place to sell those items, though the antique market or the vintage flea market might be a great place to sell those items, or places like Poshmark, Etsy, eBay, Mercari, right? Those might be great places to sell your vintage items that are of high quality. And at JBF, we do recommend that your items be current within the last 10 years, okay? Because we want a local family to take your items and use them now and use them for their small children. That is our target audience that comes and shops at JBF. Clean, current, complete, and compliant. So what would that look like for like clothes? For clothing, that would mean that it is free of stains, rips, tears, holes, damage, right? And that it is a current style or brand. So again, we would avoid like vintage clothing. We would avoid like 90s and 80s clothing. We would want it to be current in the last 10 years. Compliance for clothes. Most clothes are compliant. Compliance from a safety perspective would mean that there are certain safety specifications related to, for example, drawstrings on small clothes. The Consumer Product Safety Commission and the American Academy of Pediatrics recommend that, baby clothing not have drawstrings because it can be a choking hazard, right? Or a strangulation hazard. So that's a compliance rule. And we do have compliance rules like that throughout all the items that we accept for the sale, because in addition to priding ourselves on providing a high quality of secondhand good to our shoppers, we also pride ourselves on providing safe secondhand goods to our shoppers. So all of our items at JBF go through an inspection process when you bring them to the sale. So when you hit that third part of the sale, which is drop off and watch your paycheck grow, then you'll see that there is an inspection process all the items are going through to ensure both the quality and the safety. Okay, that's what gather and sort looks like. The first step of, or the first of 1 to 2 steps of selling with JBF. So you gather your items and you sort your items. We recommend that you go room to room, category to category, that you do it in chewable chunks so that it isn't overwhelming. The more you do, the easier it gets. And we have tons of support to help you, which I'll talk about more in a few minutes. After you gather and sort, then you price and prep. Okay, so what does price and prep look like? Basically, what you do is you prepare your items for the sale by getting them like ready to be displayed. I'll tell you more about what I mean by that. And then we ask you to price your items. We give you some pricing guidelines, and you use our website to create a little barcoded tag for your item. Barcoded tag, like I said, I'm backwards. A barcoded tag for your item so that that item can track to you as it's sold. Okay, when you shop at JBF, again, we're a department store style format. So what happens is that all of your items have this barcoded tag on them. And when shoppers come through the sale, they shop it just like it's a department store. They take everything to a register and they scan everything out. And so that barcode tracks to your stuff, right? So you're going to prepare your item in the sense of displaying it, and they're going to price it in our system and create a tag for it and attach that tag. Okay, I'll show you some examples of what that tag looks like. I've got a big pile right here beside me. I just grabbed clothes for tonight. I'm going to do pictures throughout the group this week of different ways that you can tag / prepare your items, because we have so many new people that for this particular Seller 101 party, we're going to talk about more basics than we will some of the real specifics. So this is an example of a tagged item. I tagged this one like a couple months ago, and so it's been hanging there. The little tag is a little bent, but basically when you sell with JBF, you get your seller account and you will enter line by line in your items. So for this one, I wrote, it's a boys 4T top, not the best description, but that's all right. I guess I was being lazy, so we all do it. This is a grace place. I want you guys to know that this is always a grace place. We have recommended best practices, and some nights you just really need to go to bed, and so you just enter boys 4T top, and it's okay. So you make your little tag. Okay, this is a pretty fancy little boys 4T top. This is a size extra small, which is a pretty high demand size. It is a Tommy Bahama top, which is a premium brand. And so I have priced this little 4T boys top for $4. But there's my barcoded tag. I've prepped it. Prepping for clothes looks like putting them on hangers, because everything that we sell at JBF, we sell on hangers, which means that when you're doing your sale prep, you're going to want to if you're ready to get rid of your smaller size hangers, then you just bring those ones to the sale. If you want to keep your smaller size hangers, then you want to source hangers that can be sold with your items. We do have supply meetups where you can buy hangers for as cheaply as we can source them. We sell them at cost. Another thing that we really strongly recommend you do is that you source free hangers yourself on Facebook Marketplace from friends and family, or by calling a local store. Some good ones are Target, Kohl's, and in particular Old Navy, and seeing if they can give you their free hangers. So you hang all your items if they're clothing items. Kid hangers work best for sizes up to like size 4 to 5. After you get over size 4 to 5, like this one's right on the border. After you get over size 4 to 5, then we recommend that you move up to an adult hanger. Okay. Adult hangers tend to fit the bigger sizes better. And when you use a really little hanger with a bigger kid size, then it has a high likelihood of falling off the hanger. And that just makes it a little harder for your item to sell because it might end up falling on the ground. So we recommend, yeah, Susie, you're the queen of finding free hanger deals. So we recommend that you use kids hangers for size 4 to 5 and under, and then adult hangers for bigger sizes. So you will prep and price your items. Clothing prep means you put it on a hanger, okay? For things like toys, that would mean that you make sure that they're clean. You might give them a wipe down if they're a little dusty, that they have all their pieces. If the toy is a toy that is a set with some small pieces, for example, like a Hot Wheels track with cars or a Little People play set with figurines, then you're going to ensure that the smaller pieces are going to stay with the bigger pieces. The way we do that at JBF typically is to use a little Ziploc bag. That's a great tool. I just ordered cheapo ones off of Amazon Basics. The other really affordable place to get Ziploc bags is at the dollar store because they're very inexpensive. So if I had a Little People set, like say maybe a car with some people in it, I would get make sure that it's wiped down, that it's not dusty. I love Swiffer dusters. I love microfiber cloths for this, just to make sure that all of the, any kid gunk is off of them, because remember, clean, current, complete, and compliant, right? I would make sure I have all of the figurines that are supposed to go with that set. I'd put them in here, and then I would attach this bag to that set so the two things can stay connected to each other. I might use a Ziploc, not a Ziploc, I might use a zip tie to attach this bag to that set, or a big piece of packing tape. Clear packing tape works great. As long as I know I'm not going to damage the toy at all by peeling any paint off or any stickers off, this is a great way to do it. If I was worried about peeling any stickers or any paint off of a toy, then I would probably go with a zip tie, not a Ziploc bag, a zip tie. And we sell zip ties at our supply meetups as well. That's another thing that you can buy. I think like a bag of like about a 25 for $1 at the dollar store, so really cheap. And here's an example, just like some ordinary little zip ties, right? You can also use things you have around the house. I'm a huge fan of using what you already have on hand. Why spend money to prepare for the sale when you already have some things on hand? So cotton yarn works awesome to attach multiple pieces together. And I personally use yarn a lot. I buy these things for the sale because there are other places in the sale that we use these. I use yarn a lot because one like little ball of yarn can get you hundreds of little ties to attach different pieces to one another. Okay, so that is an example of what it would look like to prep toys. Okay, so now you have 3 different examples. So price and prep, or prep and price, right? So you're going to prepare your items. Preparing basically means making sure that all the pieces are there, that they're clean, that they're hung up, or that they're packaged in a way so that all of the parts of them stay together when the shoppers are looking at them. And then pricing means going into our system and creating that barcode tag, okay, and attaching it. And we'll talk more about attaching tags in a little bit. After that, you're going to drop off your items at the sale and watch your paycheck grow, okay? And that's what's super fun. You'll come to drop off. We are going to do a full drop zone kind of experience this season, which we'll talk about more as we get closer to the sale. We'll do a whole live video about 1 week before the sale to give you really specific information about what your drop-off experience will look like. Generally speaking, if you're brand new to our sale, your clothing, shoes, and Mommy Mart items will go through an on-the-spot inspection pass, and then you'll move your items out to the floor. If you are not brand new to our sale and you are a fast pass holder, which means you've participated in the sale before and you have a proven track record of bringing items that are clean, current, complete, and compliant. If you are a fast pass holder, then you will get to skip that on the spot inspection and just place your items on the floor. We still inspect everything later, but we're not going to hold you in the building while we inspect your items. We love to inspect on the spot for new sellers because it really helps us to have a great line of communication about what are great ways to prepare your items, what items are accepted, what items aren't accepted. And when we get to have that face-to-face conversation, it just feels like a lot friendlier and a lot more supportive, like us supporting you well, as compared to like inspecting your items after you've already left the building, because then you might not exactly know why your items were or were not accepted, right? So that's the deal with how we do drop off at JBF Oakland County. If you're new, you'll go through inspection. If you're a returning consignor and you have earned a fast pass, you will skip on the spot inspection, though your items will still be inspected. And then we have drop zones at our sale, which basically means that you'll have your items loosely organized by category. You'll have all your books, you'll have all your clothes. There'll be a lot more information about that as we get closer to the sale. But you'll have your items loosely organized by category, and you'll take your books to the books section and put them there. And then you'll continue on. You'll take your toys to the toy section, put them there, and continue on. You'll take your items to the clothes section, put them there, and continue on. We're hoping that by doing full drop zones this season, we can make drop-off even faster and a more efficient experience for everyone. So that's the plan, okay? There's lots of good things coming. Every year, every season, every sale, we will change, okay? So your experience last sale, any changes we make, we're making those changes so that whatever your experience was last sale, it is even better this sale. I know many of you said that last sale you had a really good experience as compared to our first sale, and we just want to keep riding that trend of making things better and better for you. So we're always open to change, and when we change, it's because we're trying to figure out how to make it faster for you, more efficient for us, and just an overall happier sale for everybody. Okay, so you are gonna gather and sort. You're gonna prep and price. That's like you can't see me over there. Gather and sort, prep and price, and then drop off and watch your paycheck grow. And so when the sale starts, you'll be able to log online to your account and you'll see things live as they sell, and you'll be able to kind of estimate how much your paycheck is going to be, which is super exciting. Yeah, very exciting. So that is what selling with JBF looks like. Okay. And so before I get into any specifics, let me know if anybody has any questions about what this thing is that you're learning more about. If you have any specific questions related to signing up, how does JBF work? Tell me. I'm going to take a sip because I get really dry when I do these. I end up talking for like an hour, and then at the end I'm like parched. All right. Okay. So what we'll do for most of the rest of this evening is talk about some tagging examples. We're going to do clothes tonight. A lot of clothes tagging examples, because those tend to be ones that most people have the most of and that they have the most questions about. And then I'll start posting over the course of this week, tagging examples for books, tagging examples for toys, tagging examples for large items, all of those things. I will also start posting this week and probably even later tonight in this group some specific information about categories, that kind of thing. So if anybody has questions about that while I'm in here, go ahead and drop them and we can discuss. So I already showed you my Tommy Bahama shirt. All right, so let's talk about tagging clothes. First of all, what clothes do we accept at this sale? Let's clarify. So I made a bad decision in calling this a back to school sale because it has confused a lot of people, and that's my fault. I'm so sorry. So the back to school sale is timed for the back to school season, and we still are accepting all the things. So it's timed for the back to school season. Families will be shopping for back to school gear at this particular time of the year, and babies are still born all year long. So our August back to school sale, I'm now calling it in like all of our advertising, it is a back to school all seasons, all ages event. So hopefully that's helpful. A back to school, all seasons, and all ages event. So what that means is that you can bring everything for the babies to our back to school sale. You can bring all the large items, high chairs, bassinets, car seats, strollers. Those things sell like hotcakes. Our sellers come running in the door for those things. So please bring them. They will get wiped out. And you can also sell all the shoes, all the clothes, backpacks, lunch boxes, Halloween gear, toys, books, tons and tons of books. Please bring your sports equipment for back to school season, dance, soccer cleats, football, basketball, whatever it is, right? Bring all the things because this is an all seasons, all ages sale. We've made it an all season sale because Michigan, right? So the weather patterns, are they changing? Are they not changing? I don't really know. It's so hard for me to remember what it was like 30 years ago when I was like in elementary school, right? But it is a back to school all seasons, all ages sale, meaning that when you do back to school shopping, right, you're usually going for the jeans and the long sleeves and the sweatshirts and hoodies and stuff. But in Michigan, it might continue to be in the 70s and 80s through all of September and October. Sometimes it continues to stay in the 70s and 80s into November, right? So we are completely happy for you to bring some t-shirts, some shorts, a few tank tops even. Definitely bring swimwear because kids wear it all year long. You know, there's indoor swimming at community centers and when families go on vacations and such, right? But it's perfectly fine to bring some of your short sleeves and some of your t-shirts. Now, they might not sell quite as strongly as some of the colder weather stuff. So if all you have, is like tank tops and t-shirts, I might choose like some of your best ones and then focus on other stuff like toys and books and such. But definitely there is going to be an appetite for t-shirts, for some shorts, maybe even a few tank tops. And so you can bring all seasons and all ages to this sale. That's what we're going to do. And we'll see how it works. I have a feeling it's going to work. It's going to work well. So, and kids grow, like kids, like what my kids are doing right now in terms of like their summertime growth, like it's hard, right? My daughter has like tiny feet, even though she's almost 4 years old. My son's feet, even though he's 2 years younger than her, are almost the same size as hers, right? Kids grow in weird ways, in weird patterns. And so I can promise you that there will be families out there who need to size up in shorts and t-shirts to get through August and September at school because their kids grew so much over the summer. So it's okay to bring some of your short sleeve stuff, some of your warmer weather stuff. I would focus still on like the back to school season. In particular, if you have limited time resources, I would make that your priority to clear out that gear first. If you have limited time resources and to save most of your warm weather stuff for this spring, but definitely bring some because some will definitely sell. There's no question. Okay. So it's a back to school, all seasons, all ages sale. And you can bring those types of items that I just mentioned. Let's talk about how to tag and prepare items. Everything needs to be on a hanger, like we suggested. And we already said if it is an item 4/5 or smaller, I would recommend that you use a kid size hanger. You can use an adult if you can fit it on there. That's fine. If it's much bigger than that, I would put it on an adult size hanger, because you don't want this item, as people are shopping the racks and sliding items up and down the racks, for this item to fall off its hanger. And I already demonstrated that for you, what that looked like. Let me see. I grabbed a couple of other hangers when I was upstairs. So like if this is sliding up and down the racks, this is a size 4 and it's on a baby hanger, it's really easy for that to happen, and then your shirt ends up on the ground. So we'd recommend instead that you use an adult hanger, okay? When you put the size 4 on the adult hanger, it's just not going anywhere, right? It's going to stay put much more nicely. If the shirt gets kind of slid around on the hanger a little bit, then the t-shirt isn't going anywhere. As you put all your items on hangers, all of your items need to look like question marks. So I did this right this time, I think, when I'm looking at myself in the screen. You guys should be able to see that this is a question mark. Last time I didn't realize that the screen was mirroring, and so even though it was a question mark to me, it was backwards for everyone else. So I think I fixed it this time. So this is a question mark. So I get confirmation. Yes, I did fix it this time.
It's a question mark.
Yes, it's a Facebook on Restream too. I fixed it on both sides. So you put all of your hangers like question marks. What that is going to do is make it so that when the sellers come to shop, they're going to see the front side of every item as they slide items up and down the racks, and it's going to make their shopping experience better. If you put your item on just willy-nilly, then as they slide, they might accidentally see the back of a t-shirt while they're looking at the front of all the others and choose to skip over yours. So we recommend to do it this way. That gives our shoppers a really nice shopping experience. I've shown you that you attach tags to all of your items. So every item will have your barcoded tag. And there are a handful of ways that you can attach tags to your items. The best way, if you're brave, is to use a tagging gun. And there is one somewhere on this table. Stephen, do you see it buried? Oh, here it is. Okay. This is what I mean when I say a tagging gun. Okay. So we sell these tagging guns for $10. This one has, so it's got a little cover, a safety cover on it, right? And then it's got this needle, like something that would be used in a department store. And it's got this strip of tags in it. This one only has like 3 or 4 tags left. But these come in big like plastic strips that you just add in here. The kits that we sell, we buy them from Amazon. We sell them for cost, and you get like 1,000 tagging barbs is what these are called, plus the tagging gun and a couple of replacement needles for $10. 1,000 tagging barbs is a lot. Like that's 1,000 pieces of clothing. So this is a very affordable way to tag your items. It's a pretty eco-friendly way because this is just a teeny little piece of plastic, right? And this is a way that is going to ensure that your items stay really nicely tagged, that your tag doesn't accidentally come loose of your item, basically. So that's what I've done with this t-shirt here. I've used a tagging gun to attach the tag, okay? The reason I say this is the best way to do it, if you're brave, is that it is very important, if you choose to use a tagging gun, that you follow our recommendations for how to use a tagging gun so that your use of that tagging gun does not damage your clothing. Because remember, we're asking that your items be clean, current, complete, and compliant. And clean and complete for clothing means no stains, rips, tears, holes, damage, right? So this tagging gun, it has a pretty thick gauge needle. This is probably like a 2 to 3 millimeter gauge needle. And when you poke this needle through fabric, it will most of the time leave a small hole, okay? And so the way that you use this tagging gun safely so that you don't create a hole in your clothing is to tag in very specific places. Okay, not hard, it's doable. We can all do it, and very many people do it successfully. Let me show you what I mean. So I've got a handful of items here. Here's one, okay? Number one, safest place to tag if you want to use a tagging gun, through the tag, right? Okay, so if I'm going to leave a hole in this little size tag, it does not matter. It does not damage the item. It does not make it unwearable. It does not create a hole in it. It's a perfectly a perfectly lovely usable item, and this little Zara top. And my tag is attached in the physical tag of the shirt. Number one best place to attach a tag. Now, I would recommend that you attach your tag there, whether you choose to use the tagging gun or you use a safety pin, which is the other way that you can attach your tags to your items. If you're going to use a safety pin, quick sidebar, if you're going to use a safety pin, this is the size that we recommend. This is a number 2 safety pin. I'm trying to hold it up so you guys can see it. Okay, this is the number 2 safety pin. AKA, this is always confuses people. It's a number 2 safety pin, AKA a 1.5 inch safety pin. I'm failing today. I'm sorry, guys. Gosh, I was like late, and now I've like suddenly like developed the inability to hold a safety pin. So it's a number 2, AKA 1.5 inch in length safety pin. We sell these as well. It is 50 safety pins for $1. It's just our cost. You can order them on Amazon as well. We recommend this size because this is the easiest size for you to tag too. It's like big enough for it to be easy for you to use. The teeny tiny like garment safety pins or like seamstress safety pins, they're very challenging to attach to clothing. So this is the best size to use. And what you would do with this tag, instead of using the barb, I'm going to pull the barb off real quick so that you guys can see. So basically what you would do is just poke your hole in the little tag, okay? And you would safety pin it to your tag. Just like that, okay? And now your item is attached, or your tag is attached to your item, and the garment is good to go, and you're A-okay, all right? So that is hands down number one best way to attach a tag to any garment using a tagging gun or a safety pin. There's a couple other places that you can choose to tag with a tagging gun if you don't have access to a tag. Here's an example. Let's go back to Tommy Bahama. He has one of those like soft tags, right? So basically the tag is printed on the clothing so that it's not itchy, okay? So I don't have a physical place that I can attach a tag without putting a hole in the garment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for an inside seam. Inside seams always throw people off. This blue piece is a perfect inside seam, so you can use that, okay? Another place where there's an inside seam, oh, and this guy, it's blue all the way around. This is because this is a fancy brand. They're not usually like this. So it's blue all the way around. Let me see. Here, this Old Navy one is a good example. So this guy, an inside seam would look like this right here. You guys see that? That is the inside seam right there. And so that's like this little like flap, right, of fabric that's on the inside. It does not poke through to the outside. And so you could put your tag or your safety pin in there, and that would be perfectly fine. That would not create any holes in the item, and you would be okay. So as an example, I'll show you with a safety pin, okay? This piece here, okay? Poke it through, secure it, and that's on my inside seam. What's important about tagging to an inside seam using a tagging gun is that your tagging gun shouldn't poke through to the outside. Sorry, so there's another safety pin on here to attach the item to the hanger. So I'm going to remove that so you don't get confused. Okay, so this is the one that I put on the inside seam. And when I flip this garment around, you cannot see the safety pin on the outside, like it hasn't poked through, okay? For a safety pin that is 1.5 inches or smaller, it's actually okay for you to end up tagging or to end up pinning through the fabric. That's okay. The reason is that a safety pin will slide fibers apart and a tagging gun will actually break fibers, okay? So the safety pin, like I just put this right through the fabric here. All it has done is slide fibers of this t-shirt apart. And when I take the safety pin out, there's this teeny tiny little mark there. And all I have to do is just kind of like rub over the fabric and that hole just disappears, because what has happened is that the little tiny fibers of the fabric have just been spread apart by the safety pin, okay? The tagging gun actually tears or breaks those fibers, and that's why it leaves a hole. So if you have to actually go through the fabric, it's okay with a safety pin. It's not the end of the world. It's nice to just aim for seams anyway all the time. It's a better practice, okay? And we would recommend that you aim for like this seam right here, just like that, okay? If you wanted to do it with the tagging gun, it would look like this, okay? So I'm gonna put my item or my needle in there, okay? And then I'm just gonna put my tag in, and there's my barb, okay? And if I flip this piece of fabric around, you cannot see my barb anywhere on the outside of the fabric, meaning that the structure, the integrity, and the quality are all still fine, okay? That's how you tag with the tagging gun. Either you use the physical tag or you use an inside seam. There is one like pro place that you can use to tag with the tagging gun as well, and that is going to be into the four corner seam of an armpit. This is a little weird to see on this particular example because this is actually a tank top, but what has happened is that the two trim pieces and then the two side panel pieces of this garment, they all come together at this little spot right here, in what I call the four corner seam. And in that four corner seam, it actually there's like a place where like there's no stitches, right? Like right at the intersection of those. And so you can put the tagging gun needle right into that little hole that's there, and you can attach your barb right there like that. That also does not create a hole, and that's perfectly fine. This is a really nice place to attach a tag if you feel very comfortable using a tagging gun, because when your customer is shopping the items, your price tag is going to be right there and easily accessible for them to see. You can see that that's actually how I attached the original tag on that Tommy Bahama shirt as well, through the corner seam of the armpit, the four corner seam of the armpit. This one is actually a t-shirt. And so you see that little hole in there? That's what I'm talking about. That is like a natural hole. That's not a hole from the tagging gun. That's just where the seams line up. And it's really easy for me to take my tagging gun needle and just push it in there, and it doesn't create any hole at all. I just stabbed myself. That's cool. No blood. I'm all right. Okay, so that's an example of how to tag, okay? Some other things to think about when you're preparing your clothes include stabilizing your items on the hangers if you need to, okay? So if you have a shirt that just isn't fitting super well on the hanger, or you're afraid that that shirt is going to fall off of the hanger, you can use a safety pin in the through the fabric of the item. I try to stay as close to in the seam as I can, so you'll see that the safety pin is like right in the seam of this fabric here. I just do that just because it's just a best practice. And you put the safety pin through that seam, and then this safety pin is actually going around the hanger. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it so that this guy cannot slide or fall off this hanger. So if you're worried that your item, that your garment isn't going to be stable on the coat hanger, this is how you make sure that it stays stable on the coat hanger. You just add a safety pin. I will just start with adding one because most of the time one is enough, and that's cheaper because safety pins, they cost a little bit of money. And I will typically put my safety pin on the left side so that as people are shopping at the sale, if that safety pin for any reason comes open, people are shopping on the right side of the garment. That's the first side of the garment that they're going to see, and they won't get poked. So just a nice little thing to try to do to keep people feeling good. Now, you can bring your items as single items on hangers. If you have a ton of baby items, we recommend that you put your items in outfits, okay? And that's how baby items are often sold. So if it's like a Carter's, it might be a 2-piece set, it might be a 4-piece set, it might be a pant bundle or a onesie bundle. And so we really recommend for smaller baby clothes, like 0 through 24 month in particular, that you bundle. It will save you time. It will make your experience easier, and bundles sell really well for those age groups. I don't have any baby bundles down here tonight, but I do at least have an outfit that I can show you. This is a little splendid outfit, okay? It's a long sleeve shirt with a matching pair of pants. And the way that I have packaged this outfit up so that it can be sold together is by using safety pins. So I have attached the tag through the physical tag, right? And then I have taken a pair of safety pins and I have attached the safety pins through the fabric, which is fine because again, safety pins don't leave holes. Those holes wash away. They're splitting the fibers. They're not actually tearing or ripping or breaking the fibers. They're just spreading the fibers apart, okay? So I've taken the safety pin and I've put it through my pants, both layers, and then I've put it through my shirt, and it is around the bar of the coat hanger. And so now I have my pair of pants with my shirt on one hanger, super stable, not going to fall off, not going to go anywhere. And splendid is like expensive. This is $4. Great deal, right? So that's how you do an outfit. If you wanted to do a bundle, say for example, it was multiple onesies, multiple pants, exact same thing. You're just going to take one, the main or the front one that you want to be hanging for a onesie, and hang it on the coat hanger. And then you're going to take the others, hold them up behind, and then loop the safety pin through all of them. I try to aim for the shoulder seams when I do onesie bundles. That works the most nicely. If you're going to do pants, some people get worried about needing a bunch of pant hangers. And you certainly don't have to go buy a bunch of pant hangers, spend a bunch of money on that, because those can be very expensive to purchase. And we're trying to help you earn money, right? And we're trying to save resources, not, spend a lot of money on more resources. So a way you can do pants is to use a traditional hanger, okay? This is like a pair of girls, like preteen pants, I think. We have a size 8. So this is like a bigger girl's pair of pants. And what I've done is I've used a pair of safety pins to attach this pair of pants to this hanger. When you do pants this way, the pro tip, the best thing you can do for yourself is to examine the hanger, okay? I'm going to show you. This is what I call the upper bar of the hangers, or the shoulder bar of the hangers. And then this is the lower bar, or the pant bar of the hangers. And what is backwards is that instead of draping your pants over this pant bar, you're going to use the safety pins to pin through both parts of the pant. Some people like to use the belt loops. That works perfectly fine. Just go around the belt loops. And then put your safety pins around the bar of the hanger, okay? You're going to do it like that because when you pin like that, your pants are going to stay nice and flat like this. They're not going to move around. They're not going to fall off the hanger, and they're going to look great. If you pin to the bottom bar of the hanger, I didn't actually grab a pair of pants to show you this. So I'm just going to show you what's going to happen with the safety pins because you'll be able to understand. So imagine for me that I have a pair of pants hanging here, right? If I take a safety pin and put it here on the bottom, okay, and then I take another safety pin and I put it on the other side, look at my safety pins. Do you see how they slide? So what'll happen is that your pants are going to be attached to that, right? And if this gets tipped on the hangers, then one side of the pants is going to slide to the other side, and then your pants will be hanging, dangling from a hanger like this, and they'll be all bunched up and kind of funny looking. And nobody likes that. It just looks sloppy on the racks. And I noticed that pants that get hung like that, those are often the ones that are left at the end of the sale. So if you pin from the top of the bar or that shoulder bar of the coat hanger, what happens is that basically this safety pin and this other safety pin, they end up like being unable to slide. So they, like the shirt or the pants, they can't spread out or stretch out anymore because of the angle of this bar, and then it stays put. So always pin from the top bar of the hanger and pin it with it shaped like a question mark. Right? I'm holding it backwards for myself, but pin it shaped like a question mark. Okay, that's how you hang pants. You can bundle pants. You can bundle onesies. Bundles, again, very appreciated by our shoppers. They love them. What else? Pajamas do very well. You can always use whatever hanger you have on hand. So in this case, I had a hanger like this and I used it. Heck yeah, absolutely. So these little Batman jammies, just like this right here. And this is another sneaky little hack. This hanger had a central bar, and this pair of pajamas felt like they were going to fall off a little bit for me. So I did a safety pin just through the collar there, and I just did it around the bar, and that's kind of stabilized this. And then these like tension pant hangers, sometimes the pant can get pulled off of there too. So just to make sure that this stayed stable, I put a little safety pin here. So you guys get it, right? So it's all about just finding a way to use what you've got on hand and make it so that that clothing is going to stay on the hanger, and then making it so that your tag is going to stay attached to your item. We don't want your tag to accidentally get torn off your item. We do try to sell your item as best we can if that happens, but we try to also make sure that all the tags stay on by educating you how to do it from the beginning so that it is easy for you. Okay, that is a bunch of examples. Let's see if there's anything else I can show. Sometimes people do this. If somebody had, I'm gonna cough, sorry. If somebody had a two different hangers, they had like a pant hanger and they really just wanted to use it, and then they had a regular hanger like that. You can also attach multiple pieces together with a zip tie. I've talked too long. It's time for me to go. This is the signal. Excuse me, guys. Whew. Okay, I'm going to stay alive. We need to sell your stuff, right? So the top, the bottom, and the zip tie that holds the two hangers together. If you have lots of hangers, that is another great way to create a bundle or an outfit and make sure that everything stays attached. All right. I haven't seen a lot of questions come through tonight, and that's okay because we're still very early. We're still like 5.5 weeks to the sale, which is good. We've got lots and lots of time to help you get your stuff done. So we'll wrap it up for tonight. This is the first of 3 tagging parties. The first one is always the slowest. There's not a lot of questions, but then more and more people have lots of questions as we continue. So our next seller party is it's in a couple weeks. It's probably like around 4 or 3 weeks to the sale. I can't exactly remember the day off the top of my head. I know it's on a Tuesday night as well. We try to vary the times and the dates that we do the seller parties so that there's more opportunities for people to come on live with us in case you like had an event tonight. We'll try a Tuesday night again. We'll try I think we usually try a Thursday night at some point during the sale season as well to see if more people can join us. So we've covered the basics. What is JBF? And then how to get started selling with JBF. So gather and sort, prep and price, and then drop off and watch your paycheck grow. We've covered some tagging tips, some tagging basics on how to get started with prepping your items. That's the thing that takes the most time, prepping your items and attaching your tags on. There are going to be like little mini tutorials that come through the Facebook group over the next several days about how to make a tag on the tagging website and different recommendations as to how to tag a book, how to tag a toy, all of that kind of information. And last of all, if you're here with us, you're hearing all this, and you're saying, this is great, and I love it, and at this particular season of my life, I just don't have time, then I want you to know that we have a valet tagging program. Our valet tagging program is a program where you gather and sort your items, and then you give them to another local mom who does all of this prep and price and drop off work for you. We pay a little less when you participate through our sale in the valet program. And the part that we don't pay to you, we pay instead to that local mom or dad who prepared your stuff as a thank you to them or as a payment for them. So if you're interested in valet tagging, we still have spots available. The valet tagging program will stay open until July 20th, and then it closes. Valet does close because we have to make sure that our taggers have adequate time to receive your items and prepare them for the sale. So if you're thinking, I think I want to do this, I'd really like to clear my clutter and I'd like to earn the best payout I can on my stuff, but you just don't have time, valet is for you. That's what we've made it for. And so definitely make sure that you comment in the group that you're interested in valet, comment on this video if you'd like, or you can go to our website, which is oaklandcounty.jbfsale.com/sell. Okay. And then you'll look at the top button menu at the top on the right-hand side of the page. And under the sell button, you're going to hit the arrow and there will be a menu that drops down. That menu will have a little button that says no time to tag, try valet. Click there and that button will take you through to the valet portal where you can get signed up. Okay, so that's what it looks like to participate in a JBF sale. It is super fun. Our sellers come back season over season because at the end of it all, we end up becoming a community of families that support each other. And that is probably the most important and impactful part of the sale for me. That's the reason that I run a JBF sale, is that we just love our community. We love watching it grow. We love having new people come in and be part of our great big crazy family community of local Oakland County people who are looking to save money, get great deals, and support other families. So we hope you'll join us this season. If you have any questions, if you have like follow-up information that you want to know about the sale, go ahead and drop your questions in this comments thread, and we'll tell you all the things that you need to know. Stay tuned for the next Seller 101 party. It will be in a few weeks. There'll be more attendance, and we'll probably even have a few guests who are going to be here with us at that time. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Have a good night, guys.